Bisa dimulai sekarang? Selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera. Good morning everyone. Very welcome to this prestigious international lecture. My name is Eko Aris Susmiatin, and it's about honor and privilege to be your moderator for today enlightenment session. Before we embark on this intellectual journey, John Flores, RN, Dr. Michael John Flores is the senior executive quality, orang penting di balik suksesnya kerjasama antara Indonesia dengan Filipina, termasuk
Kanada Husada Kediri.
Yang ingin kerja keluar siapa? Raise your hand.
What country? Taiwan. Japan. Germany. Okay. How about US? Saudi. Australia. Saudi. Australia. New Zealand. Maybe one day Germany, second day Japan, third day Taiwan. International nurse. Okay. So I'll be discussing about what should be your skills for you to be a globally competitive nurse. Okay, so first, let's discuss the knowledge. So basically, what you need to have is knowledge, and you need to have a good foundation. And I think STIKES, Husada, Kediri is preparing you for a good foundation. Okay. The second one is the skills. You need to check, let's say for example, the Germany, what specific skills you need to have. Because sometimes there's a specific country that requires a skills. For example, the Middle East requires a BTCLS or your BLS. Okay? In Western country like US, sometimes they require also AHA BLS. So before you go to a certain country, check first what are the needed skills for training. Okay? The third one, the most important one, is your certificacy. Certificacy, LULUS certificacy. If you want to go to Germany, make sure you LULUS the language exam. If you want to go to Japan, make sure you LULUS the Nihongo exam. If you want to go to US, make sure you LULUS NCLEX exam. Okay? So make sure you have your knowledge, you have the trainings, and you have the certificacy. Certificacy, LULUS kagad. LULUS. Okay? So without LULUS certificacy, no work. Okay? So these are the options for Indonesian nurses. First is the US and Canada. Second one is the Middle East. Third one, Australia, New Zealand. And fourth one is London. Now let's discuss what are the different exams required. Okay? So let's go to NCLEX and Canada. So the exam for US and Canada is NCLEX. In Indonesia, you see it as NCLEX or NCLEX. So you need to take NCLEX and LULUS NCLEX if you want to go to US and Canada. Okay? NCLEX for US and Canada. Without NCLEX, you cannot go to this country as a nurse. Okay? The second one is you have your Australia and New Zealand. You need to have first your bridging program. What do you mean by bridging program? It means you need to enroll and study for a shorter period before you can work as a nurse. Okay? So you have your bridging program. So you will be students again. Okay? For 1 year. Then you take the exam. Okay? Then for the London. Who wants to go to London? London? She wants this also. London. Okay? If you want to go to London, there's also UKCBT. Exam only intended for London. Okay? The fourth one, Middle East. Commonly, Indonesian nurses wants to go to Saudi. Why? Because sometimes you want to see Mecca. But the second options of Indonesian nurses are Qatar. Because you can take the exam of Qatar without hospital experience. But for Saudi, you need to have hospital experience first before you can take the exam for Saudi. Okay? So when you talk about numbers, many nurses go to Saudi, and then the second one is Qatar. We have students who take exam now, and now they're in Indonesia, they're in Saudi. Also students in Bandung. Okay? So let's see about the status, okay, of worker. So let's focus on the Indonesia. Okay, so this is Indonesia. So as you can see, based from the numbers, you have big number of nurses going to Saudi. As what we said, the second option is Qatar. Okay, now let's go to Asia. So most of the Indonesian go to Malaysia compared to Singapore, Thailand, and Brunei. Why? Why does Indonesia go to Malaysia? Yeah, there. Okay, Malaysia is near. Second one, you speak the same language. You have the same culture. You have the same religion. So it's like you are inside Indonesia, but different salary. Correct? So that's why most of the Indonesian, when going to ASEAN country, they prefer going to Malaysia. Because it's like you are inside Indonesia. No changes. You can speak to them. You have the same culture. You have the same religion. You have the same sambal. Right? You like spicy food. Okay? Malaysian likes spicy food. You speak the same language. Okay? Now, let's discuss what are the common demographic profile of nurses in USA. Okay? According to the data, we have 3.1 nurses who are working in USA. Let's talk about the salary. Okay? You tell me if it's tower. Okay? The salary, if you work to US, is $38 per hour. 38 USD dollar per hour. Okay? The per year is 76,600 per year. How much is that in rupiah? $77,600 per year. How much is that in rupiah? So many. You cannot count. Can you earn that one in Indonesia? Can you earn that one? The $77,000? Can? You can. But 20 years. Right? Okay? So this is the average salary. Now let's talk about gender. So most of the nurses in US are female. As we can see here, many here are female. The second one, the average age now is 43. Just imagine how many years they will retire already. There's another set of new nurses they need. Okay? Then based from the nationality, only 9% are Asian. Just imagine 9% from this one. Okay? And last one, the most state is New York. Number one, New York is mura in terms of NCLEX. Then they have easy environment. In New York, you can go there for New Year. Right? Many events. Okay? Now, so commonly, these are the areas where nurses go. Hospital, ambulatory, residential, government, and services. Okay? So mostly hospital. Okay? Now let's talk about the exam. Again, when you want to go to US or Canada and even Australia, your exam is NCLEX or NCLEX. Okay? And the one that gives the exam is person view. Again, the exam, the name of the exam is NCLEX. The one who gives the exam is person view. Question: which of this country that give exam is cheaper? Again, same exam, but which do you think is most cheaper in terms of food, ticket, hotel, transport? Which do you think is cheaper? Cheapest, tawar. Japan? Hong Kong? Okay? If you want to take NCLEX, you go to Philippines because it's mura. It's tawar. Our food, tawar. Our ticket, tawar. our house tower. Okay? But the exam is just the same. But the expenses in the Philippines is mura. Okay? Tower. Okay? Now, how do you apply for NCLEX? Okay? So first, you need to submit your application. But when you apply, they will do credential evaluation first. What is the purpose of credential evaluation? The purpose of credential evaluation, they will check your diploma. They will check your curriculum if it's same with US. Okay? STIKES Kediri, US, same, take the NCLEX. Okay? That is the purpose of your credential evaluation. Now, question, how many from you have passport? How many from you here have passport? No. Okay. Because okay. So these are the requirements: transcript, diploma, and license in English exam. Now, the only document or ID accepted is passport. So if you want to come to the US, apply for first passport. Okay? So you cannot use your student's ID. Not allowed. Only passport. Okay? Then once you're done, you can have your ATT. So when you say ATT, it means you are allowed to take the exam already. And you only have 4 to 6 months. So once you receive the ATT, you need to have your schedule, take the exam. If you don't take the exam within 4 to 6 months, ATT, no more. You need to pay again. Okay? Then you have to check your schedule and take the exam and lulus the exam. Guys, lulus the exam, not gagal the exam. Okay? Lulus. Okay? Now, let's check the statistics for passing. Let's check Philippines. Philippines, this is 2022. Okay? So, January, March, April 30, April to June, July to September, October to December. Philippines, January to March, how many? 3,664. Lulus, 1,645. April to June, 4,300. Lulus, 1,800. July to September, 42,220, Lulus 17. October to December, 6,000, Lulus 2,416. Total for 2022, 18,000, Lulus only 766. Because NCLEX is difficult. Okay? Even Filipinos are having difficulty passing the NCLEX. Do you want to see Indonesia? Are you ready? Okay. This one is Indonesia from January 1 to December 2021. This is Indonesia. January to March, candidate sa 2. Pass, gagal. April 1 to June 30, sa 2. Gagal.
Ikan ngunci.
July 1 to September, sa 2. Gagal. October 1 to December 31, 2. Gagal. January to December, sa 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Gagal. Okay? Don't pass. Okay? So always remember, don't take NCLEX without preparation. Because NCLEX is expensive. Okay? If you're going to compare prometric, NCLEX is expensive. Prometric is cheaper. Okay? So now, so it's estimated 275 are needed in the US. In London, 70,000. In UAE, 33,000, and we have 75,000. So just imagine how many nurses are in need globally. So you have the options whether you want to go to the Middle East, Australia, USA, London. Okay? But make sure you choose the correct agency. Because agency will pay for you if you will sign for them. Agency will pay for your exam, will pay for your ticket, will pay for your housing, will bring your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife for free. So make sure you check correct agency. Okay? Now, they will ask you to pay. You look for another agency. Because many agencies will give free NCLEX application, NCLEX processing, and NCLEX review. Okay? Now, let's talk about the different tests. What are the different tests that you will encounter if you will take NCLEX? Number one, multiple choice. Is that common? Very common. Because most of your teachers, they give multiple choice, right? During your exam. Second one, select all that apply. Common? Not common. When you see select all that apply, there is one question, 6 choices, you select all the correct answer. That is select all that apply. One question, 6 choices, select all the true answer. If you miss one, good. Okay? Third one, fill in the blank. That is combination. Ibu will ask you what is the draft factor of IDF. That is fill in the blank. Hotspot question, they will ask you to put the mark where to place a specific area. For example, if you will insert IV on the brachial artery, then there's a picture. And then you're gonna mark it. That is your hotspot. The fifth one, the chart, drag and drop. What is drag and drop? Many choices, you're going to rank it in order. So which one is step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, 4, 5, 6. Then graphic and sound audio. Okay, now let's have example, okay? So Julia, 19 months, was brought to the clinic for her regular checkup. During assessment, what should the nurse expect to find? A, B, C, or D? A, B, C, or D? That's the correct answer. A, B, C, or D? Apple. B, boy. C, grupo. D. A, B, C, or D? This is A. B. C. D. I don't know the answer, sir. The correct answer is C. Second question. Okay, this is multiple answer. From these 6 choices, you're going to select the correct answer. Okay? The question now is, the nurse cares for client diagnosed with right-sided CVA. This is your stroke, right? Okay. Which of the following action by the nurse reflects appropriate care for client? Select all that apply. Remember, the patient is right. CVA with this figure. What is this figure? Swallowing, right? Okay. So, number 1, the nurse assess the client's ability to swallow. Correct? Correct. 2, the nurse offers client apple juice. Correct? Wrong. Correct? Wrong. Wrong. 3, the nurse position the client at 45-degree angle. Correct? Wrong. Correct. 4, the nurse offers the client scrambled eggs. Wrong. 5, the nurse instructs the client to place food on the left side. Correct? Wrong. Sure wrong. Correct? Wrong. Correct. 6, the nurse turns off television. Correct? Wrong. Wrong? Wrong. So the correct answer is now, are you ready? 1, 2, 4, and 6. So if you miss one, you are wrong. If you add more, you are wrong. That is select all that apply. Okay? Second one, Mr. Walter was diagnosed to have left pneumothorax from a ruptured leg. As a nurse, you are aware that the signs of tension pneumothorax are the following. Select all that apply. Okay? Bradycardia, decreased cardiac output, flattened neck veins, tracheal division to the affected side, tracheal division on the affected side, hypotension. Bradycardia, correct, wrong? Correct. Correct, wrong? Wrong. Decreased cardiac output, correct, wrong? Wrong? Correct? Correct. Flattened neck veins, correct, wrong? Wrong? 4, tracheal division to the affected side, correct, wrong? Correct. 5. Take the division to the unaffected side. Correct, wrong? Wrong. 6. Hypotension. Correct, wrong? Correct. Okay, are you ready? 2, 5, 6. If you add one more question, one more choice, wrong. If you lack one correct answer, wrong. Okay? Now, fill in the blank. The patient received 250 ml of RBC over 2 hours. Drop factor 10 drops. How many drops per minute? 250 ml, 2 hours. Drop factor is 10. How many drops per minute? That is example of filling in the blanks. You need to enter the correct answer. What's the correct answer? What's the correct answer? The one who can get the correct answer, you can get that cell phone for free. I don't know whose phone is that. Okay? What's the drop per minute? What's the drop per minute? To 250 to run for 2 hours, drop factor is 10. Is the answer? Huh? Is the answer? What's the answer? What is the first digit, first number? 1, 2. 2. Second digit, 1, 2. The first digit is 2. Second digit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 5. 25. The correct answer is 21. Okay? Now, this is now the hotspot question. You're going to use the mouse, you drag it, and then you mark it. Okay? The question is, the nurse performs a physical assessment on adult male. Identify where the nurse should place the stethoscope to hear the tricuspid. Okay? Where can you hear tricuspid? Here or here? Left or right? Left. Wait. Here or here? Right? Right, left. Right, left. Left. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ano? What number? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Next question. Okay. So from this one, you need to identify what is the ECG. Okay. So we will show you a data, and then you try to identify what is the ECG. Okay. Now, drag and drop. So the instruction is to arrange this order on how to use multi-dose inhaler. Okay. Multi-dose. Right? Okay. Remove the inhaler, open your mouth, tilt your head, hold your breath, press down, and wait at least 1 minute. What is the step number 1? What is the step number 1? Remove the inhaler. Okay. Second. So remove, that is 1. Second. What is the second? The one who can get a correct answer will have a free maxon. Okay? Second. It's the second. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the second? So first is remove. What is the second step? Are you ready? So if you drag it incorrectly, you will get the correct answer. If you drag it incorrectly, gagal. Okay? Now, graphic question. The nurse placed the client in which position to administer substance enema? 1, 2, 3, 4. Enema. Where do you insert enema? What should be the position? Enema. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 0. Okay? Now, is it difficult? Yes or no? A bit, yes. Now, let's go to a more difficult. Because now, NCLEX have new narration question. Okay? So, these are the different or the new additional questions. You have your case study, bow tie, and stand-alone. Okay? I'll give example. Based from these given cases, you're going to identify now what are the signs and symptoms that you should report immediately. Okay? Again, from these cases, you need to identify what are the signs and symptoms you need to report immediately. That is case study. Okay? Another example is that you're going to select all that apply the needed prescription based from the given study. So it's more on the case analysis. They will give you a case, they will give you a question, and you need to answer that one. Okay? This is bow tie. Okay, when you see bow tie, they will give you choices. You identify what is a possible complication, what should be the management, and what are the expected response of the patient. Difficult? Difficult. Okay? So now let's discuss. Okay? So how does NCLEX given? The NCLEX is given using computer adapted test, which means the computer will adapt based on the capacity if you will get the correct answer or not. Okay? Number 1, correct. More difficult question. Second question, correct. More difficult question. Third question, wrong. The computer will go backward. It will give you easy question. If you get it wrong, more easy question again. So the computer will adapt based on your capacity to answer the questions correctly. Okay? That's why it's called computer adaptive. The computer will adapt if you can answer the questions correctly or wrong. Okay? The second one, you have the minimum of 80 and maximum of 150, maximum of 5 hours. So the NCLEX exam is good for 5 hours. Okay? When I took the exam, I took a break, I eat. Okay? Because you get headache. Okay? But that is counted in 5 hours. Okay? It's computer adaptive, minimum of 80, maximum of 150, given for 5 hours. Okay? Now, how does the exam determine if you lose or gagal? Okay? If the computer is sure that you will lose the exam, 80 questions, computer, stop. Okay? But if the computer knows that you will gagal the exam, 80 question, computer, stop. Okay? If the computer knows that you cannot pass the exam, the computer will shut down at 80. But if the computer knows that you will lose the exam, the computer will shut down at 80 as well. Okay? But if the computer will try to assess more, it will give you additional question. It can stop on 90, it can stop on 100, it can stop on 120. Because the computer needs to assess you if you can lose the exam. Okay? So, if the computer is 95% sure, the computer will shut down. Okay? So if you are getting an easy answer, be afraid. Because you can only answer easy question. But if you are getting a difficult question, be happy. Because it means you can answer difficult question. Okay? And then the maximum length exam, for example, you finish the whole 150. The computer will check how many questions you get correct. If above the level, you will lose. If below the level, gagal. You pay again. You apply again. Okay? So now let's talk about prometric. Now, prometric, you can take it for Saudi and you can take it for Qatar. But commonly, yeah, most of the Indonesian, they go to Qatar. They take the Qatar if they don't have hospital experience. But if you have hospital experience, you can take the Saudi. But commonly, they prefer going Saudi because of they want to visit Mecca. Okay? Yeah. So for the prometric, you have nursing technician and nursing specialist. But again, I suggest if you are bachelors, you take the nursing specialist. Okay? Don't take the technician because they will not pay you as a nurse. They will be paying you as technician. Okay? And then these are the components: Funda, medical, surgical, pediatric, and community. And only 100 question. Okay? Unlike NCLEX 150. Okay? Now, how many questions do you need to get correctly? Technician 55, specialist 50. Okay? Okay? This is my last slide. Okay? So my advice to STIKES, Karya, Husada, Kediri. Okay? Make sure you always innovate your skills. Once you go out here in the school, don't stop learning. Okay? Second, challenge yourself. Change should be your habits. Okay? Don't settle for less. If you're comfortable, means you're not improving. Okay? Always say yes. Because when you say yes, that is opportunity. If Ibu will give you a task, you say yes because you will learn. And nurture your skills. Always remember, it's our responsibility to nurture our skills. Okay? And wait. Atay bahasa. Perbaharu inovasi keterampilan Anda, tantang diri Anda, buat perubahan menjadi kebiasaan Anda dalam bersaing dan peduli. Selalu berkata ya kesempatan untuk belajar, memelihara, mengasah keterampilan dan jangan pernah berhenti belajar. Correct? Okay? So, before I end, I'll mention your school, you say I can. Okay? So when I say STIKES, Karya, Husada, Kediri, you say I can. Okay? Are you ready? Cantik ganteng. Oh, you picture her. Cantik and ganteng. Okay? So I say the school, you say I can. Okay? 1, 1, 2, 3. STIKES, Karya, Husada, Kediri. Terima kasih, sukses selalu untukmu.
Thank you, Mr. Michael. Berikutnya akan kita sampaikan materi dari Bu Yeti. Cuma kebetulan hari ini Bu Yeti mohon maaf karena satu dan lain hal. Jadi nanti saya akan tayangkan materi dari Bu Yeti agar kalian punya gambaran terkait dengan hal-hal yang juga relate dengan apa yang disampaikan oleh Mr. Michael tadi. Sebentar aja. Setelah itu baru masuk ke sesi Q&A. Begitu ya.
I'm sorry, I'm not song because I keep finding this. Every pain in my throat.
Baik, teman-teman, mohon izin menyampaikan beberapa hal yang saya disampaikan oleh Bu Yenti. Nggak sampai lagi ya. Sudah. Ini beberapa hal yang akan disampaikan oleh Bu Yenti ya, teman-teman. Jadi kesempatan sekaligus dari tantangan kesiapan perawat-perawat Indonesia untuk pergi ke luar negeri dan apa sih yang bisa kita lakukan ke sana. Ini adalah beliau, Ibu Dr. Yastuti. Beliau saat ini adalah tim expertnya Direktorat Jenderal Tekstil dan Vokasi. Ini seambrek hal dan pencapaian yang sudah beliau capai. Tepuk tangan untuk beliau. Ini pengalaman beliau yang luar biasa. Kayak ini membuka insight dan cakrawala berpikir kita semua dan memotivasi kalian. Ini juga pengalaman organisasi dan seterusnya. Mudah-mudahan ini juga sekali lagi memotivasi kita semua bahwa meskipun sibuk tetap harus dipaksakan, gitu ya. Jadi beberapa hal yang nanti akan kita bahas, tapi tidak akan saya baca satu per satu slide-nya karena waktunya sudah semakin siang. Yang pertama nanti terkait dengan situasi dan kondisi, kemudian kesempatan, masalah, dan kesempatan yang bisa kalian lakukan. Ini adalah situasi dan kondisi perawat di Indonesia dan bagaimana regulasinya ya di lapangan. Kemudian setelah itu adalah quality assurance of Indonesian nursing graduate. Jadi posisi kita saat ini seperti itu. Silakan dibaca sendiri sambil berkaca, sambil introspeksi. Kira-kira aku ada di posisi yang mana? Layak nggak tadi pergi ke Middle East? Layak nggak kita ke Jepang? Mampu nggak dalam waktu depan kita ke New Zealand, Australia, Qatar dan seterusnya. Kemudian ini adalah jumlah yang besar. Kita itu punya angka yang luar biasa sebenarnya, yang sebenarnya kalau kita garap, kita poles, kita encourage sedemikian rupa, kita akan bisa seperti yang disampaikan oleh Mr. Michael tadi. Kemudian ini kesempatan yang bisa kita raih kalau nanti kita pergi keluar, ya. Jadi ini kebutuhannya teman-teman mulai dari Afrika, Amerika, kemudian Mediterania Timur, Eropa, dan seterusnya. Total negaranya segitu, kemudian permintaannya segitu. Jadi jangan khawatir yang hari ini mungkin galau, aku nanti habis ini kemana ya, itu masih gitu. Mungkin baru di-capture ya, bahwa aku nanti ini jadikan itu dari sekarang. Kemudian setelah itu ini adalah perpindahan perawat dari Indonesia ke luar negeri cukup banyak, dan yang terbanyak sepertinya di Jepang dan Arab Saudi, ya. Kemudian ini juga beberapa hal yang bisa dilihat. Jadi sekali lagi dari sekian puluh ribu tadi masih terserap sekian. Jadi siap ya untuk beberapa tahun depan kita pasarkan diri kita keluar menembus seperti yang disampaikan oleh Mr. Michael. Kemudian ini sayangnya kita punya beberapa persoalan, teman-teman. Problem and challenge of Indonesian system of work. Yang pertama adalah lisensi untuk RN. Sebagaimana disampaikan oleh Mr. Michael bahwa untuk bisa RN kita tadi harus bisa menembus NCLEX atau prometric yang tadi. Nah, untuk bisa itu tentu saja harus salah satunya bahasa. Nah, dari sekarang mumpung di kita ada kampung Inggris, ayolah itu dari sekarang. Ya eman-eman gitu. Orang dari luar dari mana-mana itu ke sini kita menafikan hal-hal yang di dekat kita, ya. Jadi itu beberapa kualifikasi tes yang diperlukan, teman-teman. Dan ternyata Indonesia ini jatuhnya very poor. Itulah kenapa akhirnya kita banyak yang gagal tadi kata Mr. Michael. Jadi sekali lagi ini challenge sekaligus memantik semangat kita, ayo kita insya Allah bisa, gitu ya. Kemudian ini beberapa yang lain. Yang kedua adalah culture tadi, makan kumpul, bawaannya sih penting aku nang ini gitu ya, kata orang Jawa, apalagi Japanese culture ya. Tadi saya sudah ngobrol sama Mr. Roland dan Mr. Michael. Dulu teman-teman di Filipina juga begitu, tapi setelah dibuka cakrawalannya, dibuka mindsetnya, oh iya, sekian persen jadi ya sudah, aku kalau begitu mau keluar dulu. Jadi sebagai informasi teman-teman, perawat-perawat lulusan dari Filipina adalah salah satu jumlah terbesar the second month di luar itu yang mereka bisa membahas mana-mana. Filipina nurse, I think in America, Japan, German, and another country.
Boleh.
Kemudian yang ketiga dalam bahasa. Orang kita kalau lagi ngomong bahasa Inggris langsung disamperin, sok ke Inggrisan. Nah itu akhirnya itu menjadi mental block di semua, baik di Jawa, di mana dan seterusnya. Ayo dari sekarang nggak usah malu untuk belajar dan berani untuk speak up in English or another language. Kemudian, nah ini adalah beberapa rahasia sebenarnya perawat profil ilmu di Indonesia itu saat ini seperti apa sih? Tuh, di satu sisi ingin pekerjaan yang ideal, kemauannya terlalu banyak, sementara kemauannya terbatas gitu ya. Kalau kata orang Jawa itu cita-cita langsing tapi hobinya ngemil gitu ya. Kemudian pokoknya kalau kerja di rumah sakit nggak mau, seolah-olah tidak ada lapangan pekerjaan selain menjadi klinisian. Kemudian maunya pilih kerja shift pagi saja, soalnya siang bisa tidur. Kalau malam nanti begini dan seterusnya. Itu adalah kondisi-kondisi yang sudah diriset oleh tentu saja kementerian dan itu menjadi culture tersendiri untuk menjadi tantangan kita semua. Kemudian bagaimana selanjutnya untuk mengatasi yang tadi kondisi tadi? Tentu adalah ini, improve our professional competence, our English communication, and get the international license. Tidak bisa tidak. Kita harus punya SIM, surat izin mengemudi untuk bekerja di luar negeri. Siap teman-teman? Siap yang orang tenangan? Siap teman-teman? Berikutnya adalah ada beberapa kompetensi profesional yang harus kalian lakukan. Yang pertama adalah bagaimana kemampuan untuk mendapatkan pekerjaan yang ajak, konsisten, tentu saja juga melindungi hak asasi, kemudian perlindungan nyawa kalian, pengembangan karir dan seterusnya, tentu saja adalah salary yang bagus, good salary. Iya benar. Kemudian berikutnya bagaimana yang lain meningkatkan efisiensi dan kapabilitas. Banyak orang yang bisa tapi tidak berani, banyak orang yang berani tapi tidak bisa. Nah itu harus dibarengi dari sekarang ya. Kemudian yang lain sekali lagi seperti yang banyak Mr. Michael tadi sampaikan, sebenarnya pesan moral membuka wawasan dan sebagainya tadi layak kalian catat, kalian highlight, kalian bold. Kemudian kalau masih ingin keluar dipasang itu di kamarnya supaya nanti terus menjadi memorable gitu. Sebagai kesimpulan ini adalah bahwa dunia hari ini membutuhkan sangat banyak tenaga profesional. Oleh karena itu mari bersama-sama kita tingkatkan kemampuan profesional kita setiap saat. Siap? Ini hanya gambaran saja beberapa lapangan atau kesempatan di Amerika ya, bahwa kita butuh sekian orang gitu. Dan sekali lagi teman-teman lulusan dari Filipina itu sudah membuktikannya. Kemudian ini juga harus punya ini syarat-syaratnya. Nanti setelah ujian dari sini silakan diurusi, jangan hanya asal lulus tapi juga kompeten beneran gitu ya. Kemudian ini juga harus disiapin. Kalau di Indonesia ada AKZI, ujian kompetensi bahasa Indonesia, maka nanti untuk nembus international license you must be pass in intellectual power test. Dan biasanya mereka akan diperbarui every 2 years, right? Jadi mereka akan diperbarui setiap 2 tahun. Kalau kita mungkin kan 5 years, di sana 2 years. And then metode tesnya seperti ini. Saya pikir tadi sudah sedikit disinggung juga oleh Mr. Michael. Jadi sekali lagi hari ini yang penting kita punya paket data, kata kuncinya tepat, insya Allah we can do it the best. Ya. Kemudian ini proses pemeriksaan, nanti ada kayak international board gitu, jadi lembaga internasional kesehatan atau keperawatan yang untuk kayak pengakuan gitu. Jadi kalau kalian orang Indonesia atau orang Filipina atau Thailand atau mana itu nanti sana akan dicek lebih lanjut. Diikuti saja prosesnya. Ya, ini yang paling ditunggu kayaknya. Ya udah, ya, gajinya ini ya di Amerika. Waktu kerjanya 9 sampai 14 jam, maksimal 40 jam per minggu. Apabila itu ada overtime, ya. Kemudian setelah itu gajinya juga sekian. Kalau terus hitungan diri, silakan count yourself. Berapa itu? 1, berapa? Juta atau miliar itu? Ya, kira-kira tertantang? Tantang. Kalau tertantang berarti yang tadi yang jadi sampaikan tadi dibuka kayak berani gitu, robek ketakutan dan lain-lain yang masih muda. Ini di Australia, tadi Amerika, ini Australia, ya. Kalau kalian lihat tesnya beda nggak? Tesnya beda nggak? Beda. Kalau ini diperhatikan ya, yang tadi pakai Anglek, kemudian yang Australia beda lagi. Nanti Timur Tengah beda lagi. Ini, ya. Gajinya sekian dan seterusnya, kebutuhannya sekian. Kemudian ini persyaratan teknis dan pendaftaran. Ya, tadi materinya sudah saya share ke beberapa yang saya tahu nomornya. Mohon izin Bu Yekti. Kemudian persyaratan teknis dan pendaftaran sudah ada di sini. Silakan nanti dicermati dan disiapkan dari sekarang. Mumpung masih semester 5 dan semester 7 ini yang paling tinggi ya. Kemudian ini cara registrasinya untuk bidan atau perawat. Kemudian ini cara registrasi untuk sama dua profesi tersebut. Gajinya juga kurang lebih segini. Oke, itu beberapa hal yang saya pikir penting untuk dicatat dan dipersiapkan dari sekarang. Selanjutnya kita masuk ke Q&A session. Oke, siap untuk bertanya? Oke, silakan. Sudah banyak sekali. Siapa dulu? Alta, and then Vicky ya? Vicky, and then Atika. Silakan. Can you hear?
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me say thank you for this opportunity. There's so many questions in my mind about being international nursing. So as we know, it's very difficult to bring international nursing. So I just translate this for my question. Yeah, as Professor explained, the nurse who participate in program is paid. So in my opinion, this could be the true differences in the competence or scientific standard of nurse, especially in Indonesia. Apart of that, the problem that arises is cultural differences regarding how to treat patient. Are there any tips for dealing with that? And are other challenges or other standards that we need to prepare before becoming an international nursing? And you can tell us your journey for to being international nursing, so it can be a motivator all of us. Maybe. Okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Terima kasih. The question is very good actually, because he tried to figure out what is the problem with the Indonesian by all lima gagal. Number one problem, to be honest, we've been in Indonesia since 2013, and we have been providing seminars and tryout. Since 2013, no faculty, no students can use our tryout techniques. They can only use the prometric exam. Okay? Your observation is correct because of the differences of your education in Indonesia. In the Philippines, the main reason why somehow we have the ability to lose the exam because we use foreign books. Our teachers deliver our content in English. We don't have our own term for the diseases. If the book says this is of the eye, we say this is of the eye. We don't say luma or sakit mata. Okay? Because if you're going to take the exam is English. Sometimes you know the disease, but you don't know the name of the disease. Because the delivery is in Bahasa. Okay? I'm not questioning your education. My opinion is that maybe you can also learn on your own to read foreign books without checking the Bahasa language. Because again, that is the big factor why Indonesian gagal the exam. Because you have your own term. Okay? So that is correct. That the difference in terms of education is really different. So that's why I'm encouraging the school to somehow really adapt what is written in the foreign book, especially if you are eyeing to take international exam. That is my first answer to your first question. Second is the tips. You try, there are many questions in the internet already, like practice tests. Try to answer those practice tests. We have nurses' notes, we have quizzes, we have Mentimeter, we have screen. You try to practice because there are many platforms in the internet that are free, and you can take a practice test so that you will be more adept if you're going to take the actual exam already. Sometimes teachers are copying questions from the internet because those questions are really good. Okay? And maybe you can also buy books that contains NCLEX questions, like for example, military. Military, they have NCLEX review books. So you try to buy review materials so that you know how are the common questions, how the questions are given. Because like what I said, commonly teachers, they give multiple choice. They don't give drag and drop. They don't give select all that apply. They don't give graphic question. Okay? But if you're going to train yourself how to answer those kind of questions, it will be easy for you to use the exam. Okay? Last advice, the preparation is starting. Is always starting inside your school. Because if you don't have good foundation, you cannot lose the exam. And I believe it's because Kediri is preparing you. Okay? So make sure every time that there is a lecture, you listen to your teacher. If you have questions, you ask. If you have patience, you care. Because if you apply something you learn, you will master that well. Okay? So again, my answer is number 1, learn to read English books. Second, practice exam. And third, build your foundation. Through that, you will lose the exam.
Next question. Apa? Okay. Vicky?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, my question is for Mr. Michael Chong. There are still relatively few English speakers in Indonesia. This could be the primary challenge faced by individuals aspiring to work abroad. As indicated by the previously presented data, the number of people who do English is very small. Are there any real-life cases like this, and how did someone manage to overcome this problem while studying nursing? Someone as like us. Thank you. Okay, there are still relatively few English speakers in Indonesia. This could be the primary challenge faced by individuals aspiring to work abroad. As indicated by the previously presented data, the number of people who do English is very small. And are there any real life cases like this, and how did someone manage to overcome this problem while studying nursing?
Since 2013, we are doing seminars and tryouts, and we want to, the first objective of the Indonesian government was really to promote NCLEX. That is their great plan. Okay? But since 2013, we found out that Indonesia cannot lose NCLEX. That's why we decided to offer other exams like Prometric, HAAD, and HA. And based from the tryout, like what I said, the Prometric, we can lose the exam. Now, the question now, why there is only limited number of nurses taking the NCLEX. Number one problem is the culture. Because most of the Indonesian nurses, oh, I will stay in Indonesia. I will stay with my family. I love my husband. I love my wife. I love my home. I love my place. I love here. Okay? So sometimes the reason why they don't want to take the challenge in taking the NCLEX exam is because they don't want basically to work abroad. And because of that culture, sometimes Indonesians are afraid to go to Western countries. Most of the Indonesia, they go to a country which requires less adjustment. That's why Indonesian nurses go to Saudi, go to Qatar, go to Malaysia. Question, do you have the same religion in Saudi, Qatar, and Malaysia? Yes. Do you have the same culture in Saudi, Qatar, and Malaysia? Yes. So sometimes Indonesian nurses are very limited to explore, are afraid. So to be honest, I cannot answer your question if there is one nurses who pass, because I haven't met any based from our visiting different schools. That's why schools are even promoting Prometric now instead of NCLEX. Okay, so I cannot answer your second question of if there is a real nurse who go to US and overcome the NCLEX. So far since 2013, we don't have any data about that one. But to answer your question why there's only few nurses is because I think they want to be in a comfort zone.
Okay, to add to Dr. Mike Flores' statement, actually, for NCLEX, we have no experience yet of students from Indonesia since 2013 whom we trained and passed the exam. But since our recommendation to the Ministry of Health is to invest more on people who would want to go Saudi, we had a chance to train several Indonesian nurses to take the Prometric exam, and then eventually they passed. And they're now all working in Saudi. Okay? It's basically a small steps towards the goal of Indonesia of, becoming a global nurse. And again, it will start in you. Okay? Because the question now is, do you see yourself working? No. Okay. Let's rephrase the question. Do you see yourself, having a selfie in New York? Yeah? Selfie in London Bridge. Okay. Selfie in Paris. Yes. Because I asked your professor, how, during your elementary days, how is other countries presented in your class? Like for example, in our school, we were taught of the Asian civilization. Okay? We were taught of how it looks like in the United States, in UK, in Korea. Okay? So our mindset is, wow, there's life outside Philippines. So, meaning from there, we have this, idea of someday we will be visiting those places. Okay. Now, if not for you, at least for your children, do you see your children, diba, going abroad? Diba? Having vacation in Hawaii, in Paris, in Italy, diba? Bringing all of your family members there. Okay. As what I mentioned earlier, our wish also for Indonesian nurses is that when you go abroad, you will not be working as a caregiver or other work aside from being a nurse. Because you know what? Nursing is the only profession in the entire world wherein whether you are a graduate of Indonesia, once you go to other country, you will be working as a nurse, not as any other course. Because for example, we have so many good doctors in the Philippines. But when they go to other country, they will be working as, caregiver, they will be working as cleaners. We have so many very good engineers. Engineering? Yeah. Engineer? What is engineer in Bahasa? Engineer. Yeah. We have so many very good engineers in the Philippines. But when they go to Singapore, they cannot work as engineer. They will be working as an ordinary workman, laborers. But if you are a graduate of nursing, even if you're a graduate of Indonesia, Malaysia, Taiwan, when you go to other country, no other work but nurse. As long as you can pass the exam. That's the only profession that is accepted globally. Okay? So our wish is that someday, Indonesian nurses, as our neighboring country in the Philippines, okay, please, let's, work together so that no Indonesian nurses will be exploited in other countries. Exploitation means that you will be accepting jobs that you are not comfortable. You will be accepting job that is below the salary. You will be working in a facility or environment that will not support your growth as an individual. Okay? So, again, you have to dream. And, you have to dream that someday, yes, I can do it. Right? So, there. So, when we were starting before 3 years ago, most of our students are like you. Oh, no, we don't want to go out. Hey, we're afraid. We can speak in English. We cannot communicate. But now, some of the schools that we have collaboration with, they are sending their students in the Philippines. We train them. And now, they are now working in Saudi. Okay? At least in Saudi. Okay? Yeah. So at least this time, don't just dream of working in Malaysia or here in your country, because the world is too big for you guys. Okay? And, don't you ever think that because you cannot speak in English, okay, you're lesser than the other countries who speaks well. It doesn't mean that I can speak better than you are. It means that I am more intelligent than you. No. I met so many people in Indonesia, and yes, they cannot speak well in English, but they are very intelligent. They are very creative. Okay? How much more if you will be learning? I have classmates also in masters who is an Indonesian and is very good. So I think it's a matter of encouraging yourself every day. Okay? So that's it. Thank you.
I'll give you another tips. If you are afraid to go to US, you can start first with Middle East. Because even Filipino, they go to Middle East as a step one. Because number one, NCLEX is expensive. Language exam is difficult. So sometimes, because prometric is easy to lose, they go to Middle East. Once they are in Middle East, they are now applying for US. Okay? That is another option. I just allow me to show a video. Okay? You can see Indonesian faculty who lose the prometric. Okay? All of these are Indonesian. So 2018, I think we had a project with the Ministry of Health in Jakarta. We provided review preparation for prometric. And this one. So those are our students from STIKES, Telegoregio, Semara, okay? And they do use the prometric, okay? So like what I said, you can use Middle East as your step 1 and don't stop. You can go to London, you can go to US. While you are saving money for NCLEX, while you are learning English in Middle East. Okay? So that is my advice. Smart advice. Okay?
You know, guys, the moment you go outside of Indonesia, for example, you go to Philippines or you go to Saudi, you have no choice but to speak in English because no one will understand you. Okay, so you have no choice. The only reason why you can speak well in English because you are talking to all of your classmates who speaks Bahasa. Okay? So try to go out and talk to other people who doesn't speak English like us. So you will learn because English is a skill. Okay, you will learn. Us, we don't speak well in English, but because this is our work, we need to practice, or else we will not survive in Indonesia. No one will understand us, right? There. Okay, congratulations, because this is the first step now towards your dream of becoming a global nurse. Alright?
Clear? Any questions?
Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, this is an extraordinary opportunity and a great honor for me to speak directly with a special guest lectures from Belarus. I hope we can take a picture together later. Okay, sorry about that first. But okay, before I ask my question, so let me introduce myself. So my name is AKZI and I study called Zia. And I'm the 4th grade of nursing professional program, and yeah, once again, it's a lovely to see you all. Well, sir and mom, my question is about bahasa, not so far from bahasa, because all the question, all the big problem is about bahasa, it's about language. So, not so far from minimum score of TOEFL or IELTS. Generally, the standard entry requirements from Okay, thank you very much. Well, sir, generally the standard entry requirements from admission to a foreign university is the TOEFL with the minimum score is 550 paper-based, or IELTS with the minimum score of 6 and could be even higher if we want to take a major such as medicine, literature, or law perhaps. Yeah, besides the NCLEX, Prometric, and HAAD test, in hospital or a healthcare policy, particularly in Philippines, is there a minimum standard for TOEFL or IELTS score? And yeah, considering that the cost of IELTS test is quite expensive for a fresh graduate, are there any scholarship or a program from the hospital for foreigners? I think that's all for us. Thank you very much, sir. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
TOEFL or IELTS qualification.
Yeah, students in Philippines, somehow it's like we don't prepare our students to pass the IELTS or the English exam because number one, the delivery of our education is already in English. Second, our materials are all in English. Our exams are all in English. That is correct. If you want to go to a foreign country, you also need to pass the English exam, like for example, IELTS for US, the OET for London, okay? But you also need to check what are the required score. The total score for IELTS should be 6.5, but the speaking should be 7, which means you need to have a good language. The IELTS, we have 4 components: the reading, the listening, the speaking, and the writing. Okay? So for the speaking, most of the foreign, we are looking for a 7 score. Even though you pass the total score, but if you have poor speaking, gaga, they will not accept you. So the average should be 6.5 for the general performance and 7 for the speaking. Now, what's your question? The school don't give scholarship, but the agency gives the scholarship. Like what I said, if you will find an agency and they will ask you to pay, go to another agency. Many agencies are going to us because we also have a review center. Our review center is we prepare our students to pass the local certificacy, the international certificacy, the English certificacy. The agency go to us and they are willing to pay for the application and for the review. Same thing with here. You just need to look for a good agency that you don't need to pay any single bahasa. Rupiah, sorry. Okay? So if the Philippines, there's an agency like that, basically there's also here in Indonesia. Look for agency that will not let you ask to pay. But, there's but. Because if you don't pay, you need to stay in that facility for 2 years. Either SAT2 or 2 years. It's like you're going to pay all the fees to them by staying in that facility. Okay? That is the common setup. Schools, they don't give scholarship for IELTS. We don't do that one. But agencies who will bring you to a foreign country, they can give scholarship. Not only for the English, but also for the international exam. Okay? Welcome, sama-sama.
I think, based from our observation, you can speak well in English. It's better for you to finish the 4-year, the BSN program, and then you take because your 1 year is more on didactics, right? It's practical, more on internship. And sometimes there are hospitals in Saudi that credit the 1-year internship program as part of your hospital experience. Okay? So my advice is, and for all, okay, my advice is finish your BSN program and then finish your internship and then apply in Saudi and take your prometric exam. And then once you have a prometric exam and you work in Saudi for 2 years, okay, you take the NCLEX. That's the route. Yeah, but you have to pass first the national exam. Okay, so they need to take first the national licensure here. Yeah, that's the route. Finish the BSN program, take the local certification exam. After internship, okay, okay, finish your profession first, okay, and then after that, finish all the exams that you need for you to be able to practice your profession in Indonesia, and then after that, take the prometric exam. I think that's the best route to do. And you know, maybe someday one of you will be the first in the history who will pass the NCLEX exam. Okay? So yeah, so that will be your goal. Yeah? Okay.
Saya coba sedikit ya. Ada yang mau punya gaji 150 juta sebulan? Mau apa mau? Ada yang mau 100 juta per bulan? Mau. Apakah bisa diperoleh di Indonesia? Harus ke mana? Ke luar negeri. Siapa yang mau bekerja ke luar negeri? Kok sayanya lemes? Siapa yang mau bekerja ke luar negeri? Ya, jangan ikutan grup yang suaranya nggak benar ya. Oke, silakan ke pelajari tadi bahasa nomor 1 ya, mindset ya, jangan di otaknya mangan ramangan kumpul ya, harus bisa bekerja lebih bagusnya. Di Filipina itu orang tua menyekolahkan anaknya di keperawatan karena ingin memperbaiki ekonomi keluarga semuanya. Dan di Filipina itu Bu Yeti pernah iri hati turun dari pesawat. Bu Yeti itu ambil S3-nya kan di Filipina ya, turun dari pesawat itu kita tidak dihiraukan. Kalau ada perawat Filipina pulang ke negaranya, turun dari pesawat digelarkan karpet merah, dianggap sebagai pejuang devisa negara. Dan itu cita-cita dari Pak Menkes saat ini, Pak Budi, pengennya semua perawat Indonesia harus bekerja tidak hanya di dalam negeri. Karena tadi di slide saya udah overload ya, kadang gaji cuma dibayarin 1 sekat untuk beli pulsa aja nggak cukup ya kan, yang di puskesmas ya. Yuk semangat untuk bekerja ke luar negeri, perbaiki ekonomi keluarga ya, semangat.
Bu Yeti di tengah-tengah keterbatasan suaranya sampai kayak gitu, pinginnya kalian semua, kita semua yang calon generasi selanjutnya. Kalau Bu Yeti kan sudah seusia Bu Ratna, mungkin di bawahnya setelah itu saya. Sekarang giliran waktunya kalian bukan hanya untuk bisa tampil, tetapi juga memegang kendali di dunia kesehatan atas nama profesi perawatan. Siap? Baik, mungkin Itu saja ya serangkaian beberapa hal yang tadi sudah dicanangkan dan disampaikan. Tadi secara umum pesannya Mr. Ronald ada beberapa tips terkait dengan persiapan untuk keluar. Yang pertama adalah terkait dengan bahasa. Tentu sekali lagi preparation is a key, baik preparation pengetahuan, preparation in language, preparation in test, and any requirement yang tidak bisa kita sebutkan satu persatu semuanya dipenuhi. Kemudian sebagai langkah awal untuk loncatan tadi yang dipesankan Bu Yakti, jadi selesaikan dulu yang NES, kemudian ikut ujian kompetensi, setelah lulus nanti apply ke yang Middle East dulu. Nanti kalian akan dapat prometrik karena di mild dibandingkan dengan kalau NCLEX. Setelah itu nanti kalian akan ke sana 2 atau 3 tahun, 1 kontrak begitu. Otomatis nanti bahasa Inggrismu, kemampuanmu dan seterusnya akan terlatih, baru setelah itu apply ke the next level yaitu NCLEX. Seperti itu langkah-langkahnya. Bisa diterima teman-teman? Insya Allah siap ya, membulatkan tekad, semangat, termasuk nanti memasang moto di meja, di kursi, di kamar mandi, di cermin untuk 5 atau 7 tahun atau mungkin 4 tahun yang akan datang mewujudkan cita-cita kita, termasuk orang tua kita, untuk memperbaiki taraf kehidupan ekonomi kita terutama. Itu ya teman-teman. Baik, karena sudah sekitar 10:20, I would also like to thank all of you, our audience, for your active participation and valuable contribution to today's discussion. Please stay connected with us and consider joining us for future events that promote knowledge, exchange, and global cooperation. This concludes our international lecture about opportunities, challenges, and readiness Indonesian nursing students and nurses to fulfilling the global standard competencies. Thank you for your presence and have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. mendapatkan informasi dari MCU. Jadi tunggu sebentar, saya menghubungi beliaunya masih di depan.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ
mau nek digojoli rapi ya. Awakmu pengen gede. Males sih, Dil.
Aku tak sampai di sini sebentar ya. Mau ke lain sih. Caranya. Sing dulu itu pasti. Tapi kayaknya juga aplikasi kan. Kan secara AKZI.
Ya saya malah nanti baca di delok sing Ya Allah, ini aku kan tidak dapat pengajiannya ya. Ya ikut penonton. Ini ada pengajiannya enggak berapa enggak aku kan bukan awak pengaruh stres terhadap keinginan usia.
Mas dulu tuh sarapan apa?
tinggal punya yang tak bayar mus.
Buat sama biasanya main yang buat sama menurut
Lekmar.
Ki HP ini
Terima
GNS yang gede.
Aku kan pembukaannya kok. Cuma lo itu lah. Siapa nih lo? Samping nih. Malah ini.
Benar-benar ya. Wow.
Iya, ini apa yang dibicarakan? Ini loh, Gak, aku penasaran.
Oh iya namanya. Cowoknya keren-kerenan.
Untuk agenda selanjutnya, ini tadi harusnya kan ada penyampaian dari AKZI ya.